Back at it, friends. Welcome on. My name is Jaime. This is Tuesday Tea Time, and I'm glad to be with you all today. So we are going to take some time to look at what's happening around us. We're going to talk about relationships. I hope you're ready for some of that. It's a great conversation we're going to have. We're going to be talking to the Kowlessars today, Carlene and Jaime. We're going to take this awesome little journey together. We're going to talk about the pitfalls and all the cool stuff happening. So make sure you join us and add some questions along the way. Before that, though, last week we talked about the Say Hello campaign that we're running out of the communications department here at Southern California Conference. And the team is looking for your story. So if you happen to have a story and you want to share your life or share somebody else's story that you know, this is a good time to do it. The one I want to share today is one of our friends right here from Southern California. She is a young adult and she is doing some great things. Michelle Nolan is a filmmaker, and she has grown up right in the church here in SoCal. So you want to check out her story, you want to go over to scc.adventist.org/say hello. Her story and many other young adults are there today, and you can add your story in there if you'd like. All right. I do want to remind you, hey, our registration for voting is going on until October 19th in the state of California. Go vote. Register to vote. If you have no idea how to register to vote, that's all right. That happens. A lot of people don't. Go to vote www.registertovote.ca.gov. .go. I think it's go, yeah? Go or .gov. One of those should work. Give it a shot and see what happens. Yeah, make sure you get on there, my friends. Very, very, very important. And finally, just so you don't forget, Black lives still matter. So make sure that you're out there supporting the Black families, Black communities around us. Listen to a story, support a business, get in with the families. It's a good time for you to do so. Make sure that you're listening to the full experience and the journey of your Black communities around you. You know what? We're all going through stuff, and it's important that we give a listening ear, that we are in tune with Yahweh's principles, biblical principles, and that we're moving forward to reconcile these things in our world around us. So don't get caught up, just in case you haven't seen that trending in your feed lately. Movements are much, much bigger than that. Okay, my friends. So today I've got the wonderful honor and privilege of hanging out with this beautiful couple. So let's get on the road. Right. What's up, family? How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up?
We're good.
Hey, if you are joining us or on your way in to join us, we are hanging out with Jaime and Carlene Kowlessar. Kowlessar, right?
You got it.
Okay. So now, listen, if you're looking at the title, Jaime's on the right, Carlene is on the left. So I know that the titles are mixed up, but you'll know them by name as we talk along the way. My lovely peoples, what are you drinking this afternoon?
Nothing but some good old water.
That's right.
Stay hydrated.
Sky Juice. I call it Sky Juice.
Yeah.
That looks like that good brand right there.
I'm not sure. I mean, It's pretty good water.
It ain't
honestly.
bougie. It's a 32 pack. We get it from the supermarket.
Right.
So.
Right. If you're just catching up with us, Carlene and Jaime, you are from Texas, right?
Not originally.
Okay.
And we want to make that very clear.
That's right. We are not Texans. We just live in Texas. We are from New York City.
Okay.
The city's so nice they had to name it twice. Brooklyn, New York.
Yep.
All right. Love to the East Coast. There's an East Coast blood hanging out down there in the South. What's the weather like for you guys right now?
Oh, that's nice, right? You were just outside. What's it feel like?
Yeah, it's like 80s. It's in the 80s. Not too warm, but not too cool. It's actually lovely outside. This is my kind of weather right now.
Oh, is that right? It's 80s in the evening?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's 6:07. It's about 80 degrees right now. Let me see.
Or maybe it's less than. Maybe it's 70s.
Let's
Okay.
see.
But
That's not bad.
it's
We're about the same, actually.
yeah, it's pretty warm here now.
Yeah,
Opposed to up north, New York, they're experiencing a very it's cooler for sure.
yeah, it's 88 degrees right now where we are.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's a little bit warm for me, but you know, it's that's not bad for Texas.
No, it's not. That's fall for Texas. That's fall. But
Oh man. So you know, I've been on the down low catching you guys' stuff. You guys have been putting out some really cool live feed videos every weekend. Is on Saturdays usually when you guys do it?
yeah,
Saturdays around 2, within the time frame of 2 to 3
Right.
CST time.
right, right.
And-
So
and-
like,
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
no, I was gonna say it's so random. We don't have like a specific time. We just try to make sure it's between 2 and
And
3
3,
o'clock.
yeah.
So we just pop on and do the show.
What led to you guys doing that?
Well, I think once he was preparing for a sermon specific to a woman's sermon. I think he was talking about Tamar, and was it Tamar?
It was Tamar. I was just
It was
going
one
on
of
like
them.
I was doing like a whole women's preaching series. You know how women are always overlooked, and so I wanted to
Yes.
highlight some women in the Bible. And you know, Carlene approached me about the idea. Here's exactly what happened. Full transparency. She was like, "How you gonna preach about women and not consult me?" Right?
Then the mansplaining started.
That's
Right.
right. Mansplaining started. So then it turned into, all right, we're gonna dissect your sermon on Sabbath afternoons in front of the entire world. So one
That's
thing
what good
led-
spouses do, Jamie. That's what they do.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, being the loving husband that I am, I was like, put me on Front Street, tear up my sermon, talk about how male and chauvinistic it was. And then we ended up talking about our relationship.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
It never seems that way, Carlene. It never seems that bad.
Exactly. Right. Right.
Yo, that's clean. That's so good. So I watched you guys started about 3 weekends ago, and I just knew that I had to have you on here to talk about relationships, because too often I think I hear from the pulpit, I hear from church, I hear that that certain narrative that is very clean, that is very like, you know, don't say this, don't talk about that, and really let's just pretend everything is right, pray more, have faith, and everything will be okay. You guys came at it though. Y'all was like, look, let me tell you. and then you were talking about Jamie. You said, listen, I'm gonna be real, like, you know, the women in my life wasn't really feeling Carlene, and then like, so I was kind of thinking about this other individual, and then Carlene, that moment right there, that was a real moment right there.
Her face, she cannot like put on. She has no game face, right?
He says it all.
Do not play poker with her. You're done.
Yes. Listen, so I'm excited that we get to be here.
Yes.
Just off the back, who has better fashion sense?
I'm not even sure why that question is being posed. I mean, I feel like I do.
Yeah. My man's wearing a T-shirt next to you, talking about it was me.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm decked out here with a.
That's what gives me the style. I break the rules, right? So it's like, yeah, just throw on a t-shirt. So,
No, that's wearing a T-shirt is not breaking the rules. Actually, wearing a T-shirt is just actually being like everyone else.
no, because no. What you don't understand is that people are going to try to dress up, and I broke the rule by dressing down. See that? See, Icky's feeling.
I like what you did there, man. But
Okay.
only because I'm wearing a T-shirt, Carlene. Only because I'm wearing a T-shirt, my girl.
But I definitely say she definitely has the style thing down pat. Like one time I was doing like this event out in the public, and this woman that I work with, she's a pastor, this church, Life in Deep Ellum, and she met Carlene for the first time. So I saw the same lady again, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, your wife is so beautiful. Her style, her great." And I'm like, "Okay, what am I, chopped liver? Like, I don't have any style, but obviously she definitely is the stylish one between
I don't
us."
know. I think we both equally are stylish. I'm not sure. I think sometimes I have my days
Yeah.
where like I feel like yo I'm killing it, and then there's some days where I feel like I'm not, and then I look over at him and he's just like
Bam.
killing the game. So I think we do a really good job at balancing each other out in terms of who has the most. I think we each have our moments
Yes.
of style.
Okay, look, that's fair. Look at that. Compromise and we talk about relationships today.
You see there?
Whose fashion has rubbed off on the other more, would you say?
Hmm, that's a good question.
I
I think we still have our own personalities. Like, I think what really rubs off is like if I see her, I try to match her style. So, and I
Ah,
think vice versa. But I think she has her own kind of like I can't. I try to buy her sneakers
yeah.
to wear. Like she will not wear them, man. She has like brand new sneakers still sitting in the box, won't touch them. So she still sticks to, you know, her style. And then my style is always changing. Some days I want to be like street, and then other days I want to be corporate. I can't
Right.
make up my mind. It's very bipolar.
But I think one of the things that has evolved with both of us is how much we invest in fashion, right? I am
Yes.
the bargain shopper. I'm the sales. I'll go straight to the back of the store, forget all that expensive stuff on the front. So I think I pretty much shop. I look for bargains.
You're a bargain shopper.
Yeah.
Correct. Him, not so much.
No, no.
Jamie
Look,
going for what's trending.
yeah, hey, Icky, when I go to the mall,
Yeah.
I'm on a mission. When she goes to the mall, it's an adventure. I'm going straight to what I need, a shirt. That's
Yes.
how much it costs. I can afford it. I'm walking out with it.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be like combing through racks.
Looking for the cheap stuff.
That's right. So like we'll go shopping. I'll come back with one item and we'll have the same amount of money and she'll come back with like 15 items.
Yep.
That's exactly how it is in our house. I've got like 3 things I own, and it's the same value as my wife's. Oh man. Well, look. Thanks for sharing fashion. If you're just catching on with us, I am with Jaime and Carlene Kowlessar, an amazing couple who's doing some great things in the world. I'm speaking truth and to relationships and being real about stuff. And we actually just got done talking about some fashion. So stay tuned because we're going to keep talking about things. If you've got some questions and you're just coming on, feel free to start commenting and dropping them in there, and I'll ask them as we go. I wanted to ask you though, Jaime and Carlene. I'll start with you, Jaime. What is it that you do? What's your profession? Share a little bit, please.
Yeah. So I am the CEO of Volunteers, aka a pastor. Been doing that, I've been doing that for about 12 or 13 years.
Yeah.
But I also, just started my own nonprofit organization called Raise Your Voice, and really still getting its legs underneath it, but really want to be able to teach and to educate people on social justice issues, equity, equality, and advocacy. How do we change policies and laws and eradicate poverty, things like that. So so that's pretty much what I do full-time professionally.
And I am an educator for about, what do you say, like 17 years.
Wow.
I've been teaching. Currently, I am a first grade teacher.
Yes.
So, of course, as you know, in this time of a pandemic, how challenging it potentially can be. Currently, I am the remote teacher for first grade. So I'm enjoying it, actually. I'm enjoying being able to teach children online on the online platform. I feel like it's safer. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing for the past 17 years professionally.
Wow. So you've been a professional longer than your husband.
Good
Not to
point.
start, family issues or anything. But hey, Miss Hattie, welcome on, Nancy, Kristen. Good afternoon to you. As we continue on, just want to remind you, if you got questions, comments, ask. This is gonna be great. We're gonna be talking about relationships. Bless our teachers. Yes, Carlene. Let me tell you, Carlene, I have found out just how important you are to my life this year. I am prepared for the time for which my children can return to you
Oh my
for
God.
said time during the day. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Hey, I'm prepared too, man. I got my kids at home. I'm just like, they're in the school.
Right. But I bet it made for good conversation along the way.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
How'd you guys meet?
How did we meet?
Oh yes.
So we met. Our
Uh-huh.
first interaction was I was working at the Gap at World Trade Center. And on that particular day, they asked me to be a greeter. So I stood at the door greeting customers, and in walks this
Can I take over
this
now?
guy.
Yeah.
No,
walks,
you can't take. No.
We have to share the
See,
story.
this is the part that gets a little scary because I don't know what version of our story he's going to share.
He's gonna get,
And sometimes he embellishes a lot.
He's gonna get
Not
the
even a
truth.
little bit.
He's a
But
pastor.
I'll let him come on. I'll let him say whatever he needs to say.
So I'm currently at AUC studying theology. I come down for Thanksgiving break and I pick up where she left off. She's at the door greeting and she sees this stallion walking to
Stallion.
Bro, I'm not even touching the ground. I'm like floating, right? And I'm walking gracefully and manfully, and she is just blown away by this physique, this chiseled piece from God's, hand. And she says, "Excuse me, how are you doing?"
He's lying. But anyway.
What are you talking about? That's how I remember it.
You're lying. But anyway, so I asked him, "Hey, how are you doing?" No, I said, "Hi, how are you?" He's like, "Hey, I'm fine." I said, "Hey, I think and at that point in time, I realized I've seen his face before. And so I think I remember seeing him and a group of his friends coming to my home church. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, have you been to East New York Seventh-day Adventist Church?" And he's like, "Actually, yes." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I think I remember seeing you and your friend come to one of the evangelistic meetings." And I introduced myself. I said, "My name is Carlene." He said his name is Jaime. And then he continued walking around the store. And I think he walked past me again and said bye. And that was that. So that was our very first time. That was our meeting.
Jaime, let's be real. Did you go there because you knew Carlene was working there?
So I didn't know she was working there. The second time I went there.
Well, because he didn't see me at my church. I think I saw him. Yeah.
There you go. See, she saw me. See,
okay.
I never told you this, Carlene, but your version of our story is quite boring, right? So I know how to tell our story.
Man, I'd love to see the Bible version that Jamie's got that he's writing, man. That's going to be a nice one.
Oh my gosh. Let me drink my water.
No, but our story about how we met, and it's a really long story, but we'll condense it. It's real interesting because we have a mutual friend that knows both of us, and he kept telling me, "I want to introduce you to this girl named Carlene. She's real nice." And he's not Seventh-day Adventist. Wanted to introduce us. He never got an opportunity to introduce us. The Lord just made our paths cross. I walked into the Gap that day, and in the World Trade Center, she was greeting at the door, and then I really thought she was pretty, and I went back to the store again. And when she told me her name, that's when things started clicking for me, and I was like, wait a minute. Is this the same girl that my friend was trying to introduce me to? And so, I kept pursuing her. She kept rejecting me, hard.
I don't think I would kept rejecting. I just was not in a place to receive what he was trying to give because I had not too long gotten out of a relationship, and I just was not in that place. I was really focus on finishing school. You know, I was working part-time at the Gap, and I was just really about doing whatever I needed to do for me.
Icky. Let me say this. Let me ask you this question, right? Let me tell you what happened. I invited her to come hear me preach. Do you know how I'm trying to impress her
Right.
with the word of God, right? She tells me I'm gonna be there. Bro, she did not come. She rejected the calling of the Lord to come hear the word.
Because again, I was not, my mind was not there at
She
all.
was not in tune with the spirit.
Yeah.
That's what,
Oh.
yeah, but it was you know, and it was I would say it was worth the pursuit and the patience because we've been happily married for 12 years now and we're going on 13 in May. So yeah,
Wow.
so there's actually an episode that we did that goes through our whole story how we met. So if anybody wants to watch it, you could go to our Facebook page and you can see it there.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the Facebook page so that people can go there?
Yeah, so you can catch my name, Jaime Kowlessar, Jaime Kowlessar. Just find my Facebook page, you'll see it there. Or you can go to Raise Your Voice, which is a group page on Facebook, and you'll see all the episodes there.
Why I thought it would be super interesting. Not only are you both really good about being transparent, but one of you is an educator and the other is a spiritual leader in the community. And I feel like we don't often get much transparency from the spiritual leaders about how tough relationships can be. Because, you know, oftentimes we just hear, hey, just have a little more faith, or you just got to pray more, you know, and they kind of just slips into this huge vacuum for a lot of relationships who are like, so is it wrong for me to be struggling through something? Or why can't I get counseling? Because counseling for us is like porn. Like, we don't want to talk about it. Like, if somebody catches you at the counseling place, you're like, hey, man, don't tell nobody I was here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And we need to be talking about this kind of stuff. And I just love the way you two have handled it. I love your relationship story. And having 12 years of experience is a lot. I mean, that says a lot about a couple. So let's get into some of this stuff and let's talk about it. And as we're going into it, if you are just catching up with me and the Kowlessars, please feel free to leave some questions and comments. And yeah, we'll post it to this professionals, this relationship professionals here.
Not even.
What are some good rules of thumb for dating someone? If you're gonna like date somebody, what's some good rules of thumb?
I think the first rule, well, not first, but just a really good one would be get comfortable with yourself, with who you are first. Get to loving on you as a person.
Ooh.
Know what you really want and what you don't want, and just be okay with yourself. A lot of times we go into relationships to kind of fill that void that no one else can fill, but of course God, but understanding or knowing that you are who you are. God created you to be who you are, and you need to love on yourself first before you can really show love to someone else, or before someone else can show that love to you. So
yeah. I'd also
good.
say take time to observe the person. Like, I always use this illustration about dogs. You know, when another dog sees another dog, what does it do? It like sniffs, right?
Right.
It like sniffs it out, and it's kind of like sniffing to say, like, where have you been? You know,
Right.
like, and so I think like we need to have like dog sense when it comes to relationships, and when you're about to date someone, observe them for a while. Like, don't just be like, oh, they're cute, so I'm gonna get with them. See how they treat their parents, see how they treat their siblings, see how they treat themselves, and you know, take all those things in consideration before you jump into something that you'll regret later. So at least you've had some time to like sniff them out, you know, like, how's your credit? You know, things like
How's your credit?
That's real.
Now,
Yeah.
when was the last time you asked somebody, hey, you're kind of cute, how's your credit?
Right.
Right. What's your 401k?
Right. I suppose that's why we all in relationships with broke people.
Right, exactly.
Right. You ain't doing enough sniffing. You need to sniff.
Yeah, you gotta sniff this out.
Where you been?
Right. I like that. That's good. What are some mistakes that you two made? along your way in that relationship before you even actually marriage?
Yeah.
I think one of the mistakes that I made was not taking that time out to um, get to know me. Um, and what I mean by that, like sometimes when you're in a relationship, the person's identity or especially when you're dating like a pastor or someone that's like, in the limelight,
Yeah.
sometimes their occupation, their light can overshadow yours. And almost, I remember questioning a lot about who am I? Like, am I just this Jamie's girlfriend? Am I just the person that's always with him? There's so much more to me. So I wished I took a little bit longer in embracing all of me and being a little bit more vocal about what that looked like completely, opposed to just saying, okay, but just really being adamant about owning my own light.
Oh, wow, that's good. I know that
Yeah.
dating ministers can be an interesting thing because we're kind of like wannabe small time superstars, and we suck people into our black hole, their identity, who they are, and
Yeah.
it can be really hard on our significant others, right? To like be able to balance all that, and then you start saying things like, "Is it me? Am I the problem here?" Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I would piggyback off of what Carlene said. And I think like for me, a mistake that I made is that sometimes you can lose yourself
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship where you stop forgetting about the things that you need to do, the
Right.
things, or even like, your identity, where you lose yourself, that you forget who you are, or you start abandoning your friends, you stop, you stop talking to them, hanging out with them, and that you become so engrossed in this person that you lose yourself. So I think like exactly what you said, identity, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, it's so important before you start jumping into a relationship. And don't think that being with somebody is going to give you an identity
I like that.
or is going to add to what you don't have. You don't need to be you don't need somebody to add to what you don't have. You actually need to be talking about what do you bring to the relationship.
Right, right. Because if you're not complete without them, it's not going to be completed with them.
Correct.
Exactly.
It's only going
Correct.
to add to the misery.
Exactly.
Exactly. Two stressed out people.
Yo, this is real talk. I'm really really happy for you guys sharing all this. This is so true. I pastored for about 14, maybe 15 years before I came into this particular position, and I've pastored with a lot of young couples, a lot of singles, and the problem has always been back and forth. Like married people are like, man, I miss being single, like the schedule of being single, right? And then single folk
Yeah.
are like, man, I'm missing out on being married and being in a relationship. And I'm like, look, y'all need to be happy right where you are because you were
Yeah.
Yep.
all miserable when you weren't there. So,
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. Their
Exactly.
their lives are like one big R&B song, right? So like it's like I want to be with you, then I get with you. I don't want to be with you. I'm better off by myself. It's like stop the music.
right,
Yeah.
right. Maybe that's why Paul told us to be thankful in all circumstances because he knew too often we're not intentional about being thankful in a circumstance.
It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. If you're single, date yourself. I mean, it's
Yo,
um, as maybe you don't want to hear that, but use this time to travel, and this is all part of getting to know yourself. Use the time to travel, see the world, do a lot of things because when you get married, some of those things that you were able to do or enjoy, or you
done.
weren't doing when you were single, those things get put on hold,
Mm-hmm.
once you get married, because now it's two of you and you have to like, manage the money and all these and, work with each other. So I say enjoy your singleness. It's not a
Yeah.
curse.
And that's another mistake. Not mistake, but something I wished I did before. I wished because I went from my house to living to a married home, and
Mm,
wished I had that independence a season of that independence where it was just me.
Just you.
I think there is so much growth in just being with yourself, opposed to going from, you know, your the home you grew up in to your married home. So yeah, that's something I wish I did.
Yo, single people, get out and travel some. Listen, some of us are looking at you like, man, we wish we could have.
Listen,
Some of that's on
Big
pause. Some of it
facts.
got deleted and put in the trash can, man. So
Facts. I'd be mad at your Facebook pages.
these
I
stories,
hate your Instagram.
I'm looking at you with some hate.
right.
What are some yellow and red flags that people should be looking out for, though, when they're thinking about a relationship or they start dating? What's some like clear, like, look, I know you think they're really cute. I know you're feeling them, but this is a yellow flag or this is a red flag.
Yeah, I would say, so if they did it to get you, chances are they'll do it to you as well. So what do I mean by that is if they like broke up with, or if they cheated in a relationship to get with you, chances are they're going to cheat on you as well, right? So that's a red flag of how they're coming out of their relationship. And then also, I think I said it earlier, you know, just how do they, and I'm speaking from a male perspective,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm talking about like for guys. I think an important thing to look at is, you know, does he respect his mother? How does he treat women? What does he think about women? What does he value? What are his goals? And what are some of the things that he is serious about? You know, and I think you have to take all that into consideration. So, you know, those red flags, like even, you know, yelling, screaming, arguing, or they're a violent person, don't think that because, you know, their tempers are something you should really look at as well, that just because, you know, oh, he punches the wall, you might end up being a wall one day, right?
Ooh.
So I think those things are important to look at. And if there are things that you see in a person that just cause you to question, it's there for a reason. Question it, right? And think about, you know, your future with that type of person.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially for women, to trust your intuition. Trust those signals, those flags that you're just like, that doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't sit well with my spirit. So don't just say, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll change when we get married, when he's a bit more committed. No, it probably won't. It will remain the very same. It will remain the same. It will look the same. And I think that's like a harsh reality that a lot of us women, and sometimes even men, think that the signs that they're seeing, that somehow when you say I do, they disappear. They don't at all. So trust your intuition. And some red flags is their relationship with God. If they don't have a relationship with God, then chances are you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle to try to find that spirituality in your relationship. So if they don't have a relationship with God, that's a big one. How much time they give to you, how much time they commit to you and the relationship and working on your relationship. That's pretty serious. If they are not doing that or investing that time, then that's a definite red flag. I'm trying to think of one more.
I would say, like, and coming from a male perspective, and I know I was talking about men and I was probably talking about men and women, how they should look at men, but brothers, look at the sisters as well. Like, I think you need to be honest with yourself. Can you afford her lifestyle, right? Like, so if you dating with a girl and she likes Louis Vuitton and, you know, she have it for like Gucci and all these things, can you afford to, you know, continue with supporting that, you know, and continue with, you know yourself. So I think those are important. I think also
not cutting you, but spending habits.
Right, spending habits.
That's a big one.
You know, are they paying their bills on time? Are they borrowing? Like, oh, here's a red flag. They should not be borrowing money from you.
Ooh, that's good.
They should not be doing. If they are borrowing money from you, then we need to talk about a financial plan. We need to start looking. Why? If you have a job, and if you're working, why do you need to borrow money from me to pay your bills?
Hey,
I am not your bank, right? So
right.
those are because those things, if you're not paying attention to the, and there, I'm sure there's so many more that we'll probably think about after this show,
Yeah.
but you know, those things are so important because when you get married, you bring that baggage with you into the marriage.
Yeah.
And marriage does not fix it, right? It does not just make it go away. If you got bad
No,
financial
it
habits,
magnifies it.
yeah, man, it magnifies it because now you're sharing money. And
Yeah.
now you don't got a roof over your head, after a few years. So, those are just some things that pop up into my head.
I mitigated that issue by staying broke. See, you can't borrow money from me because I ain't got none.
That's right.
Bring your own money into this relationship.
Oh my
That's right.
God.
We go to McDonald's, we get a 2 cheeseburger meal.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
that's right. That's right. That's right. You feeling me at McDonald's? We'll be all right.
That's right. You a keeper.
Yeah. Oh, no, these are good. These are good, my friends. So there was a question that came up by Nancy, but we answered it along the way. And if you hadn't heard, YouTube been married 12 years and 13 in May. So you guys are in the double digits. You're veterans. You've gotten past the honeymoon stage. You got some kids. Carlene, what was your favorite part about marriage? What's your favorite part now about marriage?
I think it's the friendship, right? I think that's what's like my favorite part. I'm smiling like from ear to ear.
I see
Because I
it.
think-
That's awesome.
because I think in friendship and when it's a part of the marriage, like it's safe.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places that aren't safe, especially in ministry, and just knowing that there is safety in him. That's like my all-time favorite thing. And I get to share experiences, ups and downs with him. That's like my favorite.
What about something, Jaime, that you found surprisingly pleasant about marriage that you didn't know before? What was something for you that was like, oh, snap, this is nice?
Yeah, I think for me, I would say, you know, loving me when I'm up and loving me when I'm down, right? Even when I make mistakes, even when I mess up, the love never changes, right? And so I think that's something that I never actually experienced, right? So I know my mother loves me, I know my father loves me, but to have somebody who is not blood related to me, that God put into my life that just loves on me up and down through mistakes and everything, I think that's just like, wow, that's great. It's great to have that, to know that I'm always loved. Also, one of the things that I love about marriage is exactly what Carlene said, the friendship, but I also love the extracurricular activities, the guilt-free extracurricular
Hello.
activities that
What's the guilt-free activities? I mean, like, let's say it out loud.
Come on, come on now.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about baking cookies with guilt-free ice cream.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
At 12 a.m. in the morning, you don't feel guilty about having cookies and ice cream.
Right.
So those are some of the things that I enjoy, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about
Carlene, help us, Carlene. You're an educator. Help us.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Where is her mind right now? That's what I need to know.
We all know Jaime does not bake. We already know that, so I'm just trying to figure out what exactly it is that you're talking about.
That heat ain't in the kitchen, huh?
I'm in a different kitchen, brother.
Oh my gosh. And there goes our show.
Yes. Oh, yes. This is exactly why I had you guys on. Yeah, that's too good. No, but honestly, truly, sex is something that for us, it's not just about guilt-free and having good sex. It's about having a safe sex in the sense that, like, emotionally, the person you're with, you trust them. Like, there's this there's not this question of performance. And or comparison. It's like, this is my partner. Like, they trust me, I trust them, we love each other, and there's a deep sense of like giving.
Yeah, it's building intimacy, bro.
Yes.
And I think that's what's beautiful about marriage and sex, right?
Yes.
it's sex without saying, okay, see you later. I gotta go home. You go home. It's
Right.
being able to be intimate before and intimate after, during and after we stay
Yes.
in the same bed. So, that's a wonderful blessing too, and to be having it with your best friend, your spouse, and
Yes.
to make beautiful children,
Mm.
if you choose to.
Yeah.
That's a added bonus, to
Yes.
this called marriage that God has given to us.
Say that. Just as long as they don't walk in on you, because it gets rough. Yes.
Oh
Listen.
man,
Come on,
bruh,
man.
Listen,
bro, we got
can
this.
we be honest?
Come on.
Yeah, are we talking about the kids now?
Ooh-wee. And my kids can't stay out of my bed. I'm telling you, they always want to come in there and be
Yo,
sleeping with us.
honeymoon snatchers.
Somebody pray.
Right.
Pray for me. Nancy asked a good question. She said, do you have date nights? What are things that you do to keep young? What are some things that you keep it fresh?
So let us just put it out there. We suck at date nights. This is something that we just suck at. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's just something we're not good at. And I think one of the reasons why it's a little bit difficult for us to have date nights is because we're not living in a space where, well, before and now because of the virus, it's a little shaky.
Yeah.
But because our list of people that we trust to watch our girls is very, very limited. And so that sometimes is something that makes it hard for us to have our date nights.
Yeah, and just a little backstory on that. We're transplants from New York, and we are the only people from our immediate family that live in Texas. So I'm sure if we were in New York City, both of the kids' grandmothers live there. We have aunts, uncles, family that we can say, hey, can you watch our girls? Out here, we're still building and still, getting to know people, because you can't trust everybody with your children.
Nope.
Yeah,
Especially
that's truth.
Very protective of them. And but we do have some people that we would, allow to watch the children. But yes, as Carlene stated, we suck at date night, but we do have moments in our house to, that we connect, that we talk, and no devices at the table and stuff like that.
So one of the things that we do, this is how we connect, and it's no place. It doesn't necessarily take the place of date night, but it definitely we're intentional about spending that time together. So since having children, we decided that our girls will go to sleep at 7:30. So 7:30 has been their bedtime since they were little toddlers. And so it's the very same thing. So we were intentional about having that time at the end of the day where we can sit on the couch and just watch TV.
Oh,
we
that's
can
nice.
talk and connect that way. So yes, it's not a date night, but we are intentional. We know that there is a need to be even more intentional, but that's just our way that we connect at the end of the day.
Nice. Nancy and Kristen said that they asked because I date nights are difficult for the same reason. They have a daughter, and it's a struggle. I am horrible at it. I'll be real. Man, we'd never have a date night. But my wife is religious. She knows what she needs, and so we put it on a calendar, and then and we do. And I'm thankful that she does that, because if she didn't, we'd never date, and it would be a horrible marriage.
Yeah, and it's important. Like I'm not trying to downplay it. It's important. You need to keep, you need to find a way to stay connected, because you can, like we were talking about relationships and getting lost in each other. You can get lost in your children.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where, you stop seeing each other. You're just so on children.
Or just responsibilities and living.
Yeah, life, work, and stuff. So
yeah. And you guys are good at putting your kids down at 7. See, so you do get intentional time. Like our house, man, our kids are walking around 2 a.m. They living their own lives. I don't know what they're selling on the side.
Now we put them in their bed at 7, but our girls share a room, and they're like 18 months apart. So they're in there talking and yapping.
But it's okay. But once they're in their room, they're down.
Yeah.
Right. So every minute, go to sleep.
Hey guys, let's do I can't believe how we have burned through almost our whole time already. I'm gonna
Yeah,
invite you back so that we can share a little bit more. Would you come back and talk with us?
absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely, of course.
okay. We're gonna do this. Let's do the 3, 2, 1 because I always want to get that out there for somebody. And we what we do is I call it 3, 2, 1. Basically, you're gonna give us 3 tips, 2 tips, and 1 tip on the particular topic we're talking about today. So, can you give us 3 practical tips, tangible tips that people who watch this can do right away that will up their relationship game? What are 3 like? If you do this, trust me, your relationship game is gonna go up.
Talk.
Yes.
Talk.
Communication.
Ooh.
Transparency.
Talk more. And not only just that surface talk. Get deep. Get naked.
Yeah.
Mm.
Open-ended questions. How, what, who. Do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Um,
Number 1, talk. Deep.
2, help each other. Help. And what I mean by that is if one partner is doing what, like, so for example, today Carlene worked, she was teaching, she usually does the cooking, I cooked tonight. Don't know how it tastes, but I cooked tonight.
It's all right. There's food on the table.
So I think, assisting and relieving somebody from their usual responsibilities can go a long way, and it shows that you care.
Wow. Good. Oh, I like that. Help.
Yeah, I would probably intertwine that with being initiating. Don't. Here's the thing: when you talk, you are more in tune with your partner, so you know exactly what's happening in your partner's mind. If they're tired, man, maybe I need to cook. The result of him cooking is as a result of us talking. So and being able to initiate those acts of service to say, hey, let me cook this, let me do this for you to alleviate that stress or that pressure.
Don't just wait. Don't just wait till somebody asks you to do it.
That's right.
Don't just wait.
And initiate, tell your spouse you love them, you appreciate them, and that you care about them. Like we're probably adding one more, but in that talk, just put subheading, affirm.
Affirm. Fantastic.
Affirm each other.
Ooh,
like,
that's good.
don't take each other for granted.
Yeah.
Tell your wife she's beautiful, she's amazing, and I appreciate all that you do. Vice versa.
Wow. I want to take this moment and tell you, Melanie, my wife, how beautiful you are. I hope you watch this later. I hope you watch this
Melanie
later.
probably looked at you. Oh, now you want to say?
I might thank you, Kowlessars, tomorrow for this moment. Appreciate you. Okay, and number 1. Did you give me number 1 already for that? Your third?
Yeah,
I think we said talk,
Right.
help. And then
initiate.
Initiate.
And then we gave a bonus, affirm.
Ooh, gave a bonus hack. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, number two. What 2 things can you do to help your parenting game in this season go up? Give the people 2 things they can do right now that'll make their lives that much better parenting during the season.
Talk to your kids, right?
be intentional about spending that time without distractions. Put away the phone, put away the devices, put away anything that will distract you, and zero in on your child for a few moments. I'm telling you, it'll change your life and it'll change theirs.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Wow, that is a good one because we are all glued to our devices today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, model for them, and model for them what you want, be the model. I guess that's probably like a number 2, right? Be the model that you want your, for your kids, man. That's
or I could say, corny. I would say,
no, that's good though.
Yeah,
it is, but play with your kids too.
Play with your kids.
Play with them.
Yes, tell them what we do. We go to Target, we buy a canvas and some paint, and we just all paint.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna write that one down. Actually, we might try that.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Do you paint with the actual paint brushes and or do you
the whole shebang?
Yeah.
Right?
Just go to Target, pick up a few canvases, and buy the paint, and let them have their way,
Yep.
let them
like
whatever,
that.
because they're artists,
Yeah.
they're creative, and just let them create, and you create with them too.
Yeah, and they look forward to it. So yeah.
I like that. I like that. The modeling one actually was really good as well, Jamie. I really respect that a lot. We need more parents to be modeling, especially our responses to our children. Because if you grew up in my generation, and depending on your cultural people group, you got whoopings growing up, and
Yep.
and so your like natural inclination when something's up is to give that whooping, give that whooping.
With that noise.
yeah. Sometimes spell it out. Spell the word you're whooping them, and whoop it every time. You know what I mean? Like that just wants to come out of you. That spirit wants to come out. But you got to model to them like how to respond to moments of tension.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You got to practice that restraint.
You got to roll that back. You got to roll it back.
That's right.
Roll it back.
Yeah, roll it on in, son. All right. Good. Okay. Oh, Nancy has game nights. That's always good. Yeah, fantastic. Finally, number one, what one thing can you do during this time if somebody does this would make parenting better for your partner during this season? What one thing could you do to make parenting a better experience for your partner?
I think, and so this is probably, so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to see if she's going to agree, right?
Right.
So, look at me, I'm folding my arms.
Yeah, arms going in.
Ready in defense mode. She's already in defense mode.
Somebody's about to get a whooping.
So you got to bust out the hazmat suit on me, right? But let me know if this works, right? Like, it goes back to what I was saying about assisting. And so I know that you're usually responsible when it comes to like telling them to brush their teeth, go take a bath, and things like that, and cooking. So, taking that load off of you, not just once in a while, but, frequently, helping you think more and process, or just to relax and chill. Do you think that would help does that help in your parenting?
Absolutely. Because it's now it feels even more like something that's shared, opposed to it just kind of feeling like it's just on me or just on him. That the partnership, right?
Yeah.
I do it this time, you do it that time, opposed to it kind of feeling like I'm always doing it, and then the expectation is, I guess I'll be doing this for a bit. But yes, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd sometimes feel alone in that process, right?
Right.
Man.
And then resentment starts to build up because you're just like, oh,
Yes.
I wasn't the only one laying there making children. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. You was there too.
So, yeah.
Yo, kids.
Yeah. And honestly, when you're going through that season, a week can feel like a lifetime.
Yeah.
You may have just been going through about a week, but you feel like, man, this is the rest of my life. This is how it is.
Correct.
If you catch this episode and you're like, wow, I'm feeling that, just know you're not alone. Like, we all go through this, and this is why we're talking about it, because we want to make sure that you're working through your stuff, and that like, it's encouraging to know you're not alone through this. So
Yeah. I think it's important to be present. And I think sometimes in marriages, sometimes we can float off somewhere else, and we're so oblivious to everything that's going on. And so it's so important that you're always present, that you're in the moment, that you know what's going on. And you're present when you're like we said, when you're talking to your kids, when you're talking to each other, and even when you're expressing your wishes, your wants, and your desires, right? Like to say, hey, I wish X, Y, Z, and this is how it would make me feel if we did that. So and that's absolutely free, right? Like you don't have to pay to be present, like you don't have to buy stuff from Amazon. You just have to be physically present. And I think that makes a mile of a difference in any kind of relationship.
Man, you speaking the truth, man. You are speaking the truth. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. I am hanging out with Jaime and Carlene Kowlessar. It's been the hour burn through, and there was a lot of good stuff here. We are going to come back around. I'm going to have them back on. We're going to talk. We're going to go in on it next time around and get to some more good stuff. We are not quite at the end of our time together. However, I haven't done the Love One Leave One game with you guys, so we're going to play the Love One Leave One game, and next time we'll play the Marry, Date, and Ghost One game. All right.
Okay.
So how this game works is I give you two options. We have about a minute and a half to go through our list, and you have to tell me which one you love. Whatever you love, you can keep and enjoy consistently for the rest of your life, as well as the rest of humanity. Whatever you don't love, that other thing gets left, disappears from existence, and no one can ever use it again.
All right, let's go.
The pressure of the world is upon your shoulders, my friends. So
I'm built for this moment. We're built for this.
yeah, this is your moment, huh? All right. All right. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna get on this, and we're gonna make it happen. You ready?
All right.
Minute and a half. If you're watching along, as you always do, feel free to type in your answers and to catch up with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You got to type fast. We only have a minute and a half. Here we go. Dress to impress or low maintenance flash?
Dress to impress.
Just impressed.
Ooh. Okay. The South or the East Coast?
East Coast.
East Coast all day, every day.
Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston?
Give me Mike.
Michael.
Ooh, okay. Chicken or lamb?
Chicken.
Chicken, but that lamb though, the precious lamb.
You can't have lamb, so chicken.
80s breakdancing or TikTok dance challenges?
Oh,
80s breakdancing.
Ooh, I hear your soul. Okay. Lakers or Miami Heat?
Lakers.
I don't care. Lakers.
Jamie, you and I can be best friends. We got a game tonight. Okay. Intimate date or group party?
Intimate date.
I
Okay.
don't want to see nobody.
Romance or adventure?
I like
Adventure.
adventure. Yes.
All right. Outdoor activities or movies and popcorn?
Movies and popcorn.
I don't like outside.
I don't like the outside. To be known or to know? To be known or to know? Knowledge or fame?
Knowledge.
Okay. Minivan or Mustang?
Mustang.
Honestly, I'll take a minivan.
I don't want a minivan.
We be fighting about that all the time.
Okay.
But yeah.
Skydiving or bungee jumping?
Skydiving.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys are so good. I hate you. Oh man, that was fantastic work, you two. Jillian, thanks Jill for joining in, jumping on, and she's dropping in her suggestions of what she would like to do. She's a skydiver. Fantastic. Good. All right, we are coming up to the end of our hour together, my friends, and I really want to thank you so much for taking time out of your marriage, out of your family time, out of your ministry to stop here in SoCal and fill us in on relationships and marriage. I am definitely going to be bringing you guys back so we could talk some more and get in depth on a few more things if you're okay with that.
Absolutely. We would
Okay.
love to be back.
Cool. Listen, we didn't even get to talk about some of the issues in the current situation right now in our world around us. So I'd love for us to talk about that. What does it look like for parents of kids that are in the Black community to hope and to deal with anxiety for their future? So those are things that we want to look at. I also wanted to talk a little bit about how you think the church could do a better job at pulling in married couples, parents, relationships, how to deal with that. And we're definitely going to talk about sex next time around because I love talking about sex. So we're going to get to it. But as we close out today, our segment and this evening where you guys are at, can you just share some words of inspiration, both of you? And Carlene, I'll start with you. Can you inspire somebody who's going to be watching this or who's watching this right now? Speak life into their world when it comes to relationships and even the thought of marriage or marriage.
Sure. I know at this time in our world's history, dating and thoughts and all that stuff can be sometimes overwhelming. But I definitely want to speak life into that person who feels as though they're at their wits' end in terms of dating, in terms of, will they find that person? And I'm here to let you know that the God that sits high and looks low is definitely interested in you and interested in, ensuring your needs are met, all of your needs are met. I know it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard as I don't know what. But understand that in this moment, in this season that you may be experiencing, whatever, that God's got you. God's got you all day, every day. And I know it's so easy to want to worry or to kind of like become impatient. But just stay the course and trust God through it all. And don't forget to love on yourself. Love you. Love all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I guarantee that God's willing, God will show you who that person is. If you're experiencing issues or trouble in your marriage, there's only one source that I depend on, and that's God. And I just call or invite you into tapping into that source as well to alleviate whatever stress you may be having at this time.
Thank you, Carlene. Jaime?
Welcome.
Yeah, and I guess I'll talk to somebody who is in a relationship right now, in a marriage, and you feel like you're double guessing or saying, "Hey, what am I doing here?" I just want you to just remember these things. Like, you are important. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be valued. You deserve to be respected. If those things are not being met, then you also deserve to raise your voice and express your heart to whomever you are in a relationship with, or whoever you are in a relationship, whether that's dating or you're married. And I would encourage you to pray and to ask God to give you the courage to say to that person, if you feel like you're not being valued, that you are a person that deserves to be valued, and be able to express yourself freely and openly, because that's what intimacy is, and that's what you should have in your relationship. But don't let anyone tear you down. Don't let anyone tell you that you are less than who you are. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a precious creation of God, and you deserve the best. Do not settle for less. You deserve the best, and you're important. So,
wow,
it helps.
That's a word from the Kowlessars. I really appreciated you guys being on here today. If you are just catching us, we are at the end of another Tuesday Tea Time episode. I've been hanging out with Jaime and Carlene Kowlessar. We've been talking about relationships and marriage and dating. We're going to come back around at this again in the future. So if you missed out, catch the recording and come back the next time we do this. If you really enjoyed this, I want to invite you, go ahead and just click that like button. Go ahead and do it now. Click that like, click it. There you go. And subscribe. So that you can catch us in the future. Tell your friends about this. Make sure they get connected with us. And we come on every Tuesday at 4 p.m. for Tuesday Tea Time. I've been your guy, Icky Taimi, and it's been a great pleasure to hang out with the Kowlessars. You guys, much love to you. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll catch all of you guys next week. Until then, be safe.